In 5, 6, 7, 8. What's up, everybody?
What's happening, everybody?
Welcome back to another episode of Is This Going to Cause an Argument podcast. What, you didn't believe it was going to work?
I was just waiting for you to be like, hold on.
No, it worked. My husband does not trust that I know what I'm doing, but we are, I think almost 60 episodes in. Uh-huh. So, yeah, your girl knows what she's doing because I'm the sound engineer and producer.
What just happened before we started?
Well, you know, I got real fancy pressing buttons.
You did.
You know what it is?
What is it?
It's that we used to have 2 mics, and then now we're down to 1 mic because one of the mics doesn't work. And so there's a certain procedure I don't have to do anymore.
Oh, gotcha. It's already ingrained in you to do.
Yes. And so when I do it, it just jacks up everything. So I then have to erase everything I've done because there's no turning back. Anyways, guys, if this is your first time tuning into this podcast, hello.
What's happening? I'm glad y'all joined us.
Yes.
I don't know what you did wrong all of this time.
Right.
But you finally did something right. I can tell you.
Praise God. You did something right. Now you're here. This is a weekly podcast, and we hope that if you're listening to it on iTunes, that you are rating and reviewing us to make us more discoverable. And we would greatly appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, also subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be notified when we upload all of our delicious content. Just as a forewarning, you'll hear us yelling at our kids. Yeah. You'll hear our kids talking. Yes.
Yeah. One's about to start screaming here pretty soon, I'm sure. Because I know he's going to hit his head on something.
On something.
Why is he in here when the others are supposed to be watching him? I don't know.
We don't know. But I am Angel Lakita Moore because we haven't introduced ourselves. Yeah. Also known as ThatChickAngel. Tell them who you are, baby.
I'm Marcus.
We are the hosts.
Tanksley. Also known as Marcus.
Yeah.
Tanksley.
We are the hosts of this. We are also married. We've been married for almost 13 years, and we are the proud parents of 4 boys that don't listen to us. And this podcast is about everything, love,
joy, happiness, hate,
peace, earth, wind, and fire. It's about all the things. So heart. But yes, we do this weekly. You can find me at ThatChickAngel across all platforms. You can find Marcus at
Marcus Ain't on the Gram and Marcus Ain't on the Book.
Also on the platforms that it sounds like they go on.
Yes.
And then you can get this shiny, gorgeous beard with his product, Manshit. That's MANSHYT at manshit.com. I'm not even going to bring up Instagram because what's the point? He's not posting anything there. So just go to the website.
No, you can go to Instagram. At Get Manshit.
Don't do that to them.
MANSHYT.
Don't do that to them.
They can see the results of the product. On me, anyway.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody. Y'all send me some pictures of those of y'all already.
Start asking.
I'm thinking about it now. Y'all send me some pictures of you men that, or women that have been using my product and you like it. Show me some results.
Or you could this is what you could do. Let me help my husband out with this. If your husband is using Manshit and they have an Instagram account, have them when they feeling real confident about their beard and they think they done took like one of them like thirst trap pictures where they feel like they looking good.
One of those.
Have them tag Get Manshit and Marcus will feature their photo on Get Manshit, which he will start growing here soon.
Yeah, I featured on my page too.
Yeah, he'll feature it on his page too. Yes, he will.
See, this is why you the man. Why ain't you been managing accounts?
Oh my goodness.
That's what she's supposed to be doing, y'all. She ain't been doing
I'm supposed to be doing everything. I'm supposed to be the sound engineer, the producer, the manager, the editor, the marketer.
Absolutely.
What? Then what are you?
Because you Superwoman. You do it all.
What are you?
I'm here to reap the benefits of all of this.
He's like, I'm the smart one. I married you. So we want to give a quick shout out to who we like to call our immediate family, our Patreon. They are watching us live as we record this. Absolutely. Hey people, how you doing?
How y'all doing, family?
We got to have a nice little conversation before we started up about how it is hot as just butt cheeks that have been saran wrapped together in California right now, Los Angeles specifically. And we discussed the weather. That's what friends do. That's what family does.
That's what family does. Y'all just get on the phone or talk to each other, just talk about the weather.
Talk about the weather.
Yesterday on the Patreon, was that on the Cooking with the Tanksleys? There was literally like 5 minutes of people just putting up what they city was doing as far as weather.
Right. But y'all think I might have forgot. I didn't, but I'm glad that they put it in the comments. We want to say a very special happy birthday to Candace, one of our Patreon
Candace, happy birthday.
members.
Yes.
I think I said the right one. If I said the wrong person, I thought it was Candace, but I could be. I could be lying. You gotta understand, my Patreon members all have different names.
It's like 5 names out of everybody.
But then their names change via the platforms.
Just the letters.
So let me just say her screen name, Educated Brown Girl. Happy birthday. All right. Now, let's jump into our first segment of the day, which is, if we already warned you, but if you all aren't watching, I have my very loud 9-month-old,
that's what happened.
who is in a great mood talking to us, who was supposed to be playing with his brothers, but of course they don't care. They don't care. Anyway, our first segment is In Your Feelings. Mm-hmm. So we talk about what's got us feeling good or what's got us pissed off. And which one do you want to start off with?
I got what's got me annoyed.
Tell them what's got you annoyed.
I ain't gonna talk about what's got me pissed off. This is gonna get me more pissed off. What's got me annoyed? As y'all know, as everybody's experiencing right now, dealing with this whole COVID-19 and the cold quarantine and, the shelter in place and the social distancing and wearing a mask. What's really annoying me is these people that are wearing their mask improperly.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yes.
If your nose is not covered, it's pointless of you wearing a mask. If you're wearing the mask under your chin, it's pointless of you wearing a goddamn mask.
Well, their mask is covering up their beautiful man shit, keeping that from getting infected.
Your beautiful man shit need to get infected along with you if you walk around like that. Possibly infecting other people.
Yeah.
Wear your mask right if you're going to wear the mask. If you ain't wearing the mask, keep your ass in the house.
Yeah, I don't understand why people have their whole entire nostril system
just out.
Hanging. I'm like, that don't work that way.
That has annoyed me every time I see it.
And I don't know if they don't know or they don't care. That's the part that I'm a little confused on.
No, people don't care. A lot of people don't think it's a real thing. The people that are out with these masks like this, they just wear it because they have to get into these stores and stores won't let them in without it.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No, because I just came up from the post office. And I was looking to see everybody in the post office was wearing it right, except for this one dude who he just pulled his all the way down. And it wasn't a real mask anyways, he just had like a work handkerchief on.
Which is, technically that's going to do the same thing as the other masks. Yeah, because the masks are to prevent you from spreading it if you have it and you don't know you have it. Yeah. It's not to keep anything from coming in, it's to keep anything from going out. And if everybody keeps stuff from going out, hopefully we'll see an improvement on this thing.
I know. You should have seen me because I forgot to put on my goggles. So I was in the post office squinting, trying to use my lashes to protect my eyes. But that's the reason why I looked around. I was like, well, if everybody has their mask on properly, then I don't have to worry about my eyeballs.
Yeah, if I'm out somewhere, like if I'm out cruising in my car, windows down, no, I'm not wearing a mask. But if I go into an area where there's a lot of people, yes, I'm going to have on a mask. If I go inside any building, yes, I'm going to have on a mask. Mainly because our masks, I'm going to rig them up, but they're going to be blocking in and out.
I remember when you weren't as diligent in the mask wearing, and I'm glad that you got there. Because I'd be like, you should go put on a mask. And he'd be like, all right, Angel. All right. Yeah, I'm glad you got there. I'm glad you're there with me.
Yeah.
What's got me annoyed, since we're doing annoyed instead of pissed?
You can do pissed.
No, I'm going to talk about what's got me annoyed. If you all can't see us and you don't know us and you can't tell by the sounds of our voices or the fact that my husband's name is Marcus or the fact that my middle name is Lakita, we are black people, okay? And we don't live in a black neighborhood, a neighborhood where there is a lot of people of similar ethnic backgrounds.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a mixture. We've got Armenians, we've got some Latinos, we've got white, just regular, regular mayo white, and
just regular,
regular white. You know what I'm saying? And we, as black folk, we try to not that we speak for the entire black delegation.
No.
We try to be good people, right?
Yeah.
We try to like keep to ourselves in the fact that our business don't be spreading out into the street. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever we do here happens here. If something's happening in the backyard, it's happening in the backyard. The most you might get is little sound spilling over, but it's at the appropriate time of day, right? Well, we got some. Amar is upset about it too.
I'll take
he
this
was
over
a part
here
of
crying
it.
and screaming.
Yeah. So we were hearing boom. Sorry for that loud noise on Patreon.
We're hearing fireworks, y'all.
Loud, like bomb-like sounds. They started the day before yesterday. Then they happened last night again. And then today, in the middle of the day, at like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Again. Go ahead.
It's frustrating because we know who's doing it. And it is the only other person on our street
of color
that looks like us, right?
Which pisses me off.
Right. So when it happened today at 1, I was like, I step outside to see if he's outside so I could be like, dude, stop doing that. Okay? You cannot be doing that.
Because it makes me mad to the point to where I'm gonna play Karen or Susie. I'm gonna call the cops on you.
Well, and no. And so
it's like no, Mr. Officer, don't arrest him. Just go over and shake him up real good. Tell him to cut that crap out.
No, but one of the other neighbors did walk out that lives on the side of the street. He was like, "Enough is enough. This is ridiculous." He was doing it at 2 o'clock in the morning, and so I'm really trying to see, is he about to go knock on old dude's door? Like, okay, he's about to get real bold. And then I think he remembered how swole the neighbor was. And he was like, I'm going to call my friend at the LAPD. And I was like...
Your friend going to be like, well, all right.
I was
call
just
emergency line. But
so
no.
I'm yelling in the middle, I'm yelling across the street. Hey, yo! To the neighbor, I know his name. I was like, you got to cut that out. I'm like, I don't want the cops to have to come to get you together.
I really don't. But the fact that it's someone of our culture is what pisses me off about it. Because I'm like, you got to do better, homie. You got to do better. Simple as that.
Right. I'm like,
if it was the third, it was the beginning of July. If it was the first, second, third, fourth, the first, second, and third, I would still be annoyed. Right. But I would get 5th, 6th, 7th. All right, y'all being stupid. You still lighting stuff. But this ain't even June yet.
Yeah, and here's the other thing that's like frustrating, because the neighbor is too scared to just say something to him, like he would probably to any other neighbor. It escalates to, let me call the police. Yeah. That's the part that irritates me. It's just like, dude, you know these people are not going to give you the benefit of knocking on your door and saying, hey, yo. It's not, no, they were fireworks.
I didn't know it was no 2 a.m.
Yeah, I said, really? He said, yeah.
Oh, see, now I got to go say something. Go ahead.
But that's the thing. It's just like, you got to be cognizant of the fact that the people on our street that do not look like you potentially are not going to give you the benefit of doubt in knocking on your door, even though you should know better, and saying, you have to stop. I'm not going to, you can't just be putting out fireworks.
Which lets you know what a pyro head I am. The one he lit last night at 11, I know for a fact he lit it wrong. It exploded. You know the kind that you drop down in the tube and it shoots up? Yeah. It didn't shoot up. It exploded inside the tube.
Marcus knows because he...
I'm a pyro head. I like fireworks.
But also Marcus went and looked at stuff on the security cam too. You were like, I know who did it.
Oh yeah, I did check that out. I couldn't see what was going on, but I could tell by the way it sounded.
Yeah, so that's got me in my feelings because I'm just like, I don't think that this is a big enough problem to call the police. This is something that we could definitely handle between neighbors, but also, you know better. He could easily, because he creates content like we do. So I am almost certain this is for creating content. He's creating content for something. He could have easily just went around to the neighbors, knocked on the door, or left a note and said, hey, I'm going to be making some noise between this hour, because he doesn't need that much time. I apologize in advance. If it gets too annoying, please just let me know.
Yeah.
It's just
my
common courtesy.
I bet not have nothing to wake me up out of my sleep, or one of them kids come in there and be like, it's real loud out, because...
No. And there's not enough for you to be out here hot-headed.
I ain't gonna be that hot-headed, but I'm gonna have it's gonna be a discussion.
Right, but look at you.
What you mean, look at me?
It's gonna be
a discussion.
Yes, that I will have.
You got to be grown. You got to grow up.
You do, but sometimes people need a conversation before discussion.
Get out of here.
Sometimes.
Anyway, let's move on.
What's got you feeling good?
Everything else.
Oh, you gave your time to describing what made you feel annoyed.
Bite me, boy.
Don't yell at my baby. He don't know no better.
He shouldn't be biting my goddamn toes.
They look fun. What else does he do? But
anyway.
My toes. See there, he coming over to bite my toes. Don't bite my toes. So what's got me feeling good is I got to spend 5 whole uninterrupted days with my husband at home. And I enjoyed you.
Yeah, you did. Oh, yeah, we had a holiday and then working every other day at work, and it just lined up that way.
Yeah, it was nice. I don't get to, unless we are on vacation with just each other. Me and Marcus, we're not ships passing in the night. We're not that bad, but we don't usually get to spend this much just time together. And it's
not that anything changed in the time that we did spend together.
Yeah, we got to do some work together.
We did some work and we went for a cruise.
Yeah, it was nice. We cooked. It was all nice.
It anyway.
I know, but like it was still just one after the other. It wasn't like.
It was.
Why are you trying to kill my
I'm serious.
Yeah, I was gonna say you trying to kill my
clap
joy.
Again.
I will clap if I want to. This baby trying to hit his head. So that was really nice. Did you enjoy yourself with me?
Yeah.
God showed us that we were dreaming too small. Yeah. Marcus was able to help me do I started my 40 to 40 series. If you all haven't watched it, please check it out. It's on all my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Excuse me. Marcus helped be my videographer on that and make sure everything stayed in focus, and that was a huge help. He probably doesn't really understand or know that, but it was huge.
I know how phenomenal I am in helping.
Oh my God. Oh, he's
Let's get
terrible.
to this topic, girl. What are we talking about? It's almost 20 minutes in. These people want to hear some conversation.
They are hearing conversation. They're enjoying this.
All right. Well, what are we talking about?
Are you going to tell something specific about what's got you feeling good? Or you just going to be
I said everything.
Specific. That's what this whole...
I'm excited about what God showed us, y'all. Showed us our dream. We dreaming too small, so we're going to start dreaming bigger. And we're going to reach for higher.
Thank you.
You're
was
welcome.
So nice. I appreciate that.
Anytime. Your turn.
I did mine.
Oh, did you?
So,
all right.
Now we can move to the topic of the day. I don't understand. He's just, see, the Patreon family, it says, please take your time. You see that? You don't got to rush.
All right, you got it.
Don't rush.
I'm going to take my time.
Slow touch.
Shut up. Shut up.
Like, he hates that song because it got played out so much. Brown and white. Yes, Marcus is a mess. Okay, so, topic of the day. Y'all know I have been writing out the topics for the first half of the year, and we had gotten off track because of shelter in place and just wanted to do lighter content. And this one is kind of like, I think it's like, the topic of the day is, what should be legal that is illegal? So what things would be considered breaking the law that shouldn't be?
Anything black people do.
What?
That's considered breaking the law. Anything we do. That's what the cops get called out for.
No. Marcus,
I know what you're saying.
Yes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Listen. I'm like, you were swinging in the wrong direction.
No, I ain't. Those facts.
No, I'm talking about what is written into law. Actual written into law.
Driving.
What about it?
You should be able to take a more stringent test in order to drive. If you can't drive that well, you should be limited to a certain miles per hour, therefore limiting what kind of car you can drive or what the capabilities of your car is.
So
if you can prove that you're a much better driver, you should be able to speed. That's how I feel.
But here's the problem. It's typically, if you're a good driver, unless you're driving on a road with only good drivers, you have...
I'm saying in restricted areas.
Oh, in restricted areas.
Yeah, like interstate driving.
Uh-huh.
Like more Autobahn type things, you know.
You feel like there should be an Autobahn for good drivers out here.
Or just drivers with good records.
Driving for what?
I said, or just drivers with good records. I mean, you wouldn't be able to be on there. But...
Yes, I would be. Wouldn't I be? Wouldn't I be? Wouldn't I be? Why is my baby so... He's just so loud. I like the suggestion that one of our Patreon gave us. I think this is so true. Enrolling your kid in a school different than their district or zip code.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. You should be able to do that.
You should be able to put your child in the best school that you can find that they can thrive at. Like the fact... Hold on, guys. I'm going to get a blanket so I can nurse him because he's yelling. Go ahead. Keep talking, babe. Keep talking, babe.
You should. I am, girl. You should be able to put your kids in any goddamn school you want to, in any district that you want to. The fact that you got people... And that's a whole lot of issues that come along with that because you got people... And of course, it's judged different depending on who it is. Again, that goes back to race. You got people that's changing their address by literally across the street. You know, they'll get sent to prison versus somebody else that's doing even, 3 times as much and they get a lot less. Oh, no, you just got to put your kids in the right school or just a little slap on the wrist. The fact that everybody's paying the same taxes and doing the same thing, I think you should be able to give your kids any education that you want.
I think drug usage should not be illegal. I don't think people should be fined for using drugs.
If they want to use drugs, just let them use it and let it do whatever it's going to do to them?
Well, yeah, because a lot of drugs, they become addictive to, so it's not a thing that they can easily stop doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but that's why it's illegal sometimes. Well,
I think the trafficking, you know how on Joe Exotica, I mean, you didn't watch it, but on the Tiger King, it is illegal to sell, barter, or trade tigers. Okay. It's not illegal to own them though. Mm-hmm. Do you understand what I'm saying? What you're saying? So if you have them, some or whatever, and you breed them, that's fine, but you can't then go and sell them. So it's kind of a thing of, yes, some people are going to use drugs. They shouldn't, and they're going to ruin their lives, right? They're going to ruin possibly other people's lives too. But I think a lot of times they ruin other people's lives because they're trying to like dip and dodge and stuff. But if they could just do drugs and if they so perish, that happens. But I don't know how the legal system is helping them. They end up in jail. The legal system
ain't helping them. It ain't never been there. Actually, it ain't never been there to help people. It's like marijuana. A lot of people say the only reason marijuana has been illegal in the U.S. so long is because the best marijuana ain't grown here.
Right. But I don't know. I just don't see.
I mean, because anytime you have a law that comes into something like that, that's where it gets a little gray area and it becomes more of a money thing. Like, in California, it's literally illegal to harvest water. Like, you can't capture rain. Mm-hmm.
Is it over a certain amount or at all?
I don't think at all you're allowed to capture water. Like, if it rains out here, I am not allowed to capture water and put into jugs for myself. Like, why not? Who's paying for that? That's my guy. It's mine just as much as it's yours. So anytime you're dealing with like the legality of stuff like that, it's like, what's the real reason?
Well, yeah, because I just feel like if they have a heavier penalty on the trafficking, I think that would slow down the usage of drugs. But I don't know. A lot of people, I'm just saying, a lot of people, they're sick. They not in a good place. I mean, there are some kids that are using it just out of curiosity, but I feel like it doesn't. The penalties are not there to help. I don't think so. I don't. Whether versus people who are in their right mind that are profiting off of people's sickness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a lot of things that, like, same with the water, same as like energy, like solar energy. You're not allowed to harvest energy. Like, you can hook up like batteries, like car batteries in series parallel, put a solar panel on it and charge it. And during the day, you can run off solar power. At night, you can run off the batteries that you charge all day. That's illegal in California. Because that will make you completely off the grid. Why? Because if you own property, they want to be able to charge you energy money for that property.
Right. Now, something that's actually not illegal that I think should be illegal has to do with, like, you know, when like 60-year-old men are dating 23 and 22-year-old chicks. I think that should be illegal.
It's a consenting adult.
It is, but
if they're allowed to do drugs, they should be allowed to date somebody older.
Again, I feel like there is
to their own detriment. Let them do it.
No. It's not about detriment. I think some in a lot of those situations, somebody is being taken advantage of.
Yeah, just like the drug dealer to the.
That's
drug
the reason
user.
why I said the drug dealer should be penalized.
All right.
Just like when you think of statutory rape. Like, the teenager does not get penalized. The older person that knew better does. So I'm saying these old perverted men that want chicks that look like teenagers, but they're just like, you're legal enough so that I can still, convince you that you should be with me, but you look like the age I actually want, which is a teenager. Why are you looking at me like that?
I get what you're saying, but I don't get what you're saying.
Okay, tell me why you don't get it.
Nah, because I'm like, at 21, which is old for most countries to be considered an adult, you able to do whatever you want. You can drink, you can do everything except rent a car, which you got to be 25 for. And if this chick can be convinced to date somebody older, or if that man...
Okay, I mean, you could
or
probably...
woman,
and we're not just talking about, but you're an adult at 18 in this country. So if you had an 18-year-old daughter and a 60-year-old man was like, I want to take your daughter out.
That's up to me to do something. Or that's up to me to raise her not to fall for that.
It's not all about raise somebody not to fall for stuff. People fall for stuff that they were raised not to fall for.
In my opinion, if my daughter does something that's stupid, I'm going to let her make her mistake. If I can't talk out of it, go ahead then.
Ariel says, sex work, DC is trying to legalize prostitution. It's a slippery slope, however. In other countries, they get health care because it's a job.
That's deep.
What do you think? Do you think prostitution should be legal? A part of me almost says yes.
Absolutely. They didn't make prostitution. This is another fact. Y'all can look it up if you want. Prostitution didn't become illegal until black people started doing it. Like, for real. You think of the brothels back in the Western days, you know. You think of all the escorts. You know, the legal term is escort. It's all the same. But no, it definitely should be legal. If they legalize it, you would stop all the crime. You would possibly shut down the pimps. Like,
I don't know. It's so because
this is stealing from a business at this point.
There's so much sex trafficking though is the problem. Like, obviously, if it was legal, then I guess the U.S. would have to put way more mandates in place and more things to protect the women, so that they have things like health care, so that there's less chance of STDs, there's less chance of unwanted pregnancies, and then these women could be protected from abusive men potentially. But because I don't know how the sex trade or the human trafficking system works all that well, I also don't know if that opens you up because
like sex trafficking or human trafficking, whatever you want to call it, why is that such a thing?
Well, they're not just being traded here,
right? It's across borders and everything.
Well, a couple of reasons is because they don't want just people who are willing. You know what I'm saying? They want people. They want whatever they want.
A lot of guys are sick, or most.
I'm gonna tell y'all
not
something.
All are sick. They want victims and not someone willing.
I had a sneaky suspicion, and there was nothing I could do about it. I was at a Walmart, and there was this Indian man. I don't know if he was Indian, so let me not say that. He resembled someone who was from someplace near that. He was browner, but not a black man. He was not speaking English on the phone, so I could not understand him. But he was buying all different types of makeup that did not match his skin complexion at all. And he was on the phone kind of trying to get like tips. You could tell he didn't know what he was doing. And a part of me wanted to really be like, I want to call the police and tell them to follow him because...
Yeah, and it's very possible. I mean, the fact that they have warnings like at the airport, because, you know, people are they traveling with people that are for sale and stuff that they trafficking with. It's like if you see something that looks suspicious, let somebody know.
Right.
And was a very good,
Yeah, I was
absolutely.
just like...
He probably was getting makeup for some girls that's tied up somewhere.
Yeah, I was just like... And I wish I could have understood what he was saying, because that would have then just been like, oh, okay. But I was like, and also his energy was off. It was like he didn't feel at ease. And I was just like, what you doing up in here?
Yeah.
What are you doing? But yeah, so like I was saying, while I do think prostitution, escorting, whatever you want to call it, should be legal, I don't know how that opens up or closes off human trafficking. If it would make it harder for it to happen, or if it would just make it so much easier. Because like I said, they're not just... While yes, prostitutes are the easiest one for them to snatch up because a lot of prostitutes have to like engage. They're taking women who are just not even... And young boys that are not like anywhere near the vicinity of something like that.
Right.
What else? What else? I think somebody on here said... Are you saying that alcohol should be illegal because you can die from the withdrawals? Almost any narcotic. I mean, alcohol is not a narcotic.
Substance. Sugar. Ew.
Yeah, I get withdrawals from not having sugar. The way I've been drinking this sweet tea.
After all the studies that they've done on sugar should probably be illegal. Like what it does to your body and brain. Like if you do just a little, it don't take much, just a little bit of research. How your body reacts to sugar. But again, it's about that dollar. Yeah. Sugar industry got things on lock.
There are certain industries that I feel like should not be able to make profit, and one is the pharmaceutical industry. I wish the pharmaceutical industry could not be profitized. That it had to be ran as a nonprofit. Granted, there are a lot of nonprofits that are out here being real shiesty, but I do feel like there are, when it comes to the pharmaceutical industries being able to make profit, they then know how to create substances that will only create you having to buy more medication. Right. Having to just cover just one thing.
Yeah, that was, that's the reason, especially here in Western medicine, of, you don't take drugs. You don't take anything to cure it. You take it to help you just a little bit.
To just deal with the symptoms.
Right. They don't look for cures. They look for things to mask symptoms, to help symptoms and not get rid of it.
And not to go to the root.
And that part of that, if not all of that, comes from them being able to profit off of it. If I heal you, if I cure you, I can no longer make money off of you.
Right. And if we were to remove that factor, I feel like we would actually be revolutionizing medicine. Right. Like they would be finding like what's the thing, because the fact of the matter is you could still charge top dollar for the cure in order to still make money. But when you are more profiting more off of the sickness of people than you are the health. Right. I feel like it's
like the light bulb effect. They can make the light bulb to last forever, but if you don't sell more light bulbs, then it was a useless invention.
Yeah. You already know, I feel like I wish in the United States of America, the right to bear arms was not something that we did across the board. And I'm not just talking about civilians. I'm talking about cops as well. I wish we did not have a militarized police. No.
Well, that goes a whole lot deeper.
I know
the police definitely shouldn't be militarized. There's no reason for them to be.
And I'm not sure if it's just it. And what I really don't know is how much militarized police and capitalism go hand in hand, because I have to look at what other governments are democratic capitalist like nations, and if their police are militarized and if their people go ahead.
But when you see all the gear that these police get, like a lot of this stuff is from the military. Like they got Hummers and they got all of this gear and stuff. It's like, unless you're going to war with somebody with similar things, then it's useless of you having all of that stuff.
Right.
It's like, why do y'all have armored vehicles? Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like ATVs to go off road and everything. I remember there was there was a video of a judge. He was reading a law that they were putting into place, and I remember he was saying, and they struck out so much from it, but out of him reading what he could read at, where he was allowed to read out loud, it was just like, so basically they're passing a law to saying that if the government wants to come in and do whatever to civilians, they're allowed to.
Yeah.
And I remember in the middle of him reading it, he was like, Jesus Christ. And he kept reading, and he literally had to stop and say that, because it was just like, what? It was so much.
It's a lot. As much as it's crazy, as much as in a capitalist society, they, especially if you are more towards the right, you try to remove government as much out of your business in your life as possible. It feels like in a capitalist society, government does have way more power than what, like, we always compare like our society to like a China or to a Cuba, where the government is all up in your business, like, but they take care of your health care. They should be taking care of the buildings, but if they don't got no money, buildings are not. And they restrict the internet. So there is, like, you see like the day-to-day tangible things. Education
is free. Healthcare, all of that.
Yeah, you see the day-to-day things and how they are, like, overpowering, controlling. But it's like, when you think about the flip of a switch, you know what I'm saying? That's what America is allowed to do within its legal, the government within the legal rights, is it can flip a switch. And I think that sometimes is even more scary. Like, you kind of get used to the normal. Right? Like when we were in Cuba, we realized, listen, we can only get on the internet if we pay to get on the internet. And we are limited on where we can go on the internet. We got used to that really quickly. But to think that, like, things could just flip if the people who have been elected decide we are no longer capable of being as free as we are. That's just
they just take it away.
Oh no!
To where I think in the U.S., civilians as a group forget how much power that they have. But no one's willing to work together.
No, you're very right. Shantae from the Patreon group says, "I got free healthcare, but my taxes are insane." #Canada. So that's a huge, obviously, healthcare is a huge thing out here. And that's probably one of the things that I feel like should be illegal.
Because we only have, a lot of people, the whole communist thing, socialist thing. It's like, we have a lot of things that are socialized that people just forget. It's like, why don't you just put healthcare in there?
Our post office is socialized.
Post office, socialized.
Even though I don't know how long that's going to last.
Yeah, I mean... they don't go, you don't use them no more, but libraries, socialized. Police, you don't pay the police to come out and patrol your area, whatever. You don't pay firemen to come out and put your house out. All of that's socialized. Fire department. So why wouldn't, to me, I'm like, why wouldn't healthcare be the same? It's like, in Canada, granted, taxes are high, but you go to the hospital, you get whatever done, you get surgery, and you walk out the front door.
Right, and I think a lot of people would be willing to pay. Well, our country is very divided. But there is a nice portion of the country that would be willing to pay more in taxes in order to relieve the burden of those hospital bills afterward.
Absolutely.
Because those bills because it's not like before you go in, they tell you, now if we got to do this, it's not like when you go to the mechanic.
They don't give you no estimate.
They don't give you
It's like, how much is this going to cost? They're going to be like, well, if you don't get this done, this is what's going to happen to you. But how much is that going to cost?
Right.
I wonder if anybody said, other than like an elective surgery, of like, plastic surgery or something
plastic surgery or something like that.
What is that going to cost? Like I went in to like get this MRI done. It's like, but how much is that going to cost?
Right. So then you have people who are foregoing being able to be healthy, contributing citizens because they no longer have the money to take care of themselves the way they should. So then they end up on drugs. That's the reason why. Drug use should not be illegal because we don't give people free health care and free mental health care.
That's a really good. You brought that right back around real smooth. Like that was COVID smooth right there.
COVID smooth. Something else that should be, I guess, something that should be illegal, or remember, I think should be legal. I don't think we should have to pay back our student loans. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, be socialized education.
Yes, that's what I want.
Yeah, that was I was reading this article where a lot of cures have come out of Cuba from doctors and scientists that went to Cuba to study and decided to go to school there because of the free education. And it's like, it's not less than that you get, it's just free. Mm-hmm. So they go there, and then that's where all these cures come up because these people are over there, they're able to afford it, and then they come back and they distribute it to the rest of the world, or to the US or wherever they're originally from, because it's free education.
Yeah.
It's like, why all of a sudden, because you want higher education, it has to be paid for?
They want us to be the new thinkers. Well, we're no longer in that generation.
No, they don't want us to be thinkers.
But no, like the innovators of tomorrow. So like, how can you do that? I guess you can do it without a formal education, but like, it's helpful to have one, I would think. Let me see. What else should be illegal or should be legal that's illegal?
In California, you should be able to legally shoot rodents and pests. Apparently that's illegal in the state of California. It's a whole bunch of stuff, but for good reason it's illegal in California. What do you want, boy? Yes, eat it. Go.
Oh, my goodness. Sai always interrupts this podcast, and I'm going to have a talk with him because he does it every time, and it irritates me. Somebody made a really good point. Leisha. There we go. Leisha. I was like, she said, I haven't committed any crime, but I have to pay. But let me kill 5 people and be locked up, and I can get a free education.
That's a fact.
That
is a fact.
That you can get a free education as a convicted inmate in prison. Granted, I think it's great they can get education, but someone who is contributing to society in positive ways has to pay. It makes no sense to me.
Same with healthcare. You could go out and commit crimes if you sick. If you got a fatal, or you think you got something fatal, go out and commit a crime. Go to prison and you get free doctors.
Yeah, but I'm sure that's trash. Like, at least with the education, they have a real degree. Granted, will they be able to use it to get hired anywhere? I don't know, but they still have an education.
With the other criminals.
Never you want to be able to shoot rodents. That's crazy.
You want me to shoot rodents?
I don't. It doesn't have to be legal. Like, it doesn't need to be legalized at all. I think. Do you think the drinking age is too old or too young?
The drinking age. Here's my thing on that. That ties into something else. If I'm old enough to go and die for this country, I should be old enough to drink.
Oh, you sounding like a good old Kentuckian right there.
No, I think that age should be higher.
Oh, to be recruited?
Yeah, because a lot of times these kids signing these contracts with the military, They don't know what they're getting into. They approached me all through high school.
Yeah.
I know I was too young when I was getting approached in high school.
Yeah, they shouldn't be able to recruit in high schools. I don't think they should be able to do that.
Yeah,
I don't think they should be able to be posted up.
They keep them desks out there. It's like
tables.
Hey man, you got any tattoos? That's how they would always open the conversation.
Because you can't have tattoos?
I think depending on what you have.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't
Then there was one dude, he stayed on me. Every time, like every other day. Like, man, I ain't going to no military. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But back then, when I was 18, I definitely wouldn't try to go to the military.
Yeah, I remember them being
no
in
type of
cafeteria.
armed forces.
That's how they
Possibly the Air Force. Daddy would have talked to me into going into the Air Force. But they like the Ivy League of the military.
The Air Force?
Yeah.
The Ivy League. It's not the Navy or the Marines.
The Marines on a whole different level. But still, the Air Force is just like, it's the...
So, listen, our children are just, it should be legal that everybody gets an umpire when they have kids. Somebody that lives with them to help them take care of their kids. Because that just bothers the heck out of me. Speaking of which, childcare. I don't know what type of law I would pass, but I feel like childcare is something that is way more difficult than what it should be. Like, you don't really have to worry about it because I'm responsible for the kids.
I've heard the prices.
But, and I understand they're getting paid what you're taking care of, important people, right? But like, I don't know how, or maybe if we got paid leave for a year, that would fix that, like they do in other countries. Because I don't know, you end up working just to pay childcare. You can't even work to pay another bill.
Yeah, now I see some people commenting on the whole military thing. So
go ahead.
The reason I say what I say about the military, why they shouldn't be able to recruit, like we know somebody for a fact. She knows him, but she's best friends with the guy's older sister. He signed a contract with the military. His parents didn't even know. Yeah. Like came home and was like, guess what?
Yep.
And then like how many months later did
the war broke out?
The war broke out in Afghanistan like that week. So that's what I'm saying. Like they can go on and they can get these kids to sign on without any type of guidance from anyone else except for that person. They should be able to at least consult with somebody and not somebody that has nothing to gain from that. Right. Now, if the military done something great for your family, that's great. I'm not dogging the military by any means.
Somebody on here joined and didn't tell their parents.
Yeah, and that's like,
I would be heartbroken. I would be heartbroken if my children joined the military and did not tell me.
Yeah, in my opinion, that should be something that an adult's because at that point they're still under the care of their parent or whoever that adult. What's it called? The guardian. Under the care of that guardian, and those recruiters are allowed to come in and just be like, we got them now.
Well, no, you don't have to have a parent signature if they're 18. My best friend's brother, this is his senior year, and a lot of seniors turn 18 in their senior year. So from what he was already signed up when he came home. Like, I was the first person to know.
I could have done a lot of that wrong. I don't know. Like, me and my brother have two completely different views. So my brother went to the Navy. So, of course, he has he thinks every teenager should go serve in some branch of the armed forces before going to college. That's just his take on it. Because he was in it, he experienced great things. So he is a completely different outlook on it. To where him and my dad didn't have that type of outlook. He was in the Air Force. But it's one of those where I'm like, no, I don't think so. Just because when I was in college, I saw 9/11 happen and thought, they're going to end up drafting me. But then my older brother already served, so I knew I was good. But I'm like, going through all of that, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, I would just. But see, okay, so I'm looking at the comment that somebody said, my friend's brother, they were like, but he's grown, so he doesn't need his parents' permission. He wasn't grown.
Yeah, he ain't grown.
He was 18.
Just because you're 18, it don't make you grown.
And he was definitively like a teenager.
Yeah. How many dumbass 18-year-olds do you know?
All of them are dumb. All of them are dumb. Every single last one of them. So for me, it's just like, especially I think about my baby, my oldest one, late bloomer. I don't know if he'll all of a sudden have a jolt in wisdom that gets him to not be a late bloomer, but he'll probably always be like just like behind the curve until he's probably 24. I feel like that's when like boys that are like him finally go, oh, okay, I understand. He's the type that if somebody said the right things to him, could potentially be like, this sounds great. Free education. I get to train and and I get to, give back. He would be like, yeah, potentially. And when I tell you, that's why luckily he'll graduate as a 17-year-old. He won't graduate as an 18-year-old. So listen here. Ain't none of that going down. Now the rest of these, they might be 18.
Now I agree. I was in school with a lot of people that knew that's what they wanted to do, which is fine. Like they did the whole ROTC thing.
Right.
That was all about, Army and everything. They knew that's what they wanted to do, which is perfectly fine. But if you have somebody on the fence, like a child on the fence or something, or they're not sure, or maybe you do have a troubled teen, it's like, we need to send this fool off. They need something better. They need structure. Yeah, no, because it's great in a lot of aspects like that. I know quite a few people that probably should have went to get that type of structure. It's a great thing.
And some people who don't have a direction in life. Like,
they don't have that direction, and it gives them that direction. Like, they go in and experience the world and then leave knowing exactly what they want to do or knowing how to find out what they want to do. Right.
And that I can understand. But kids who are like not in those situations should have parents.
If the child is already, here's a word that I always found them. I didn't like how even now as a grown man, I look back on those recruiters and why I have such a distaste for them is because if I'm on the fence or if I'm saying no, stop approaching me with it.
No, they're like.
Because now I think back on it, I'm like, I should have just been real disrespectful towards you. Because I told you I was not interested or it's not really my thing. Why are you trying to talk me into this?
Is it like a pyramid scheme?
Yeah, like that's what it was. Now that I think back, it's like, no, them fools shouldn't have been approaching me like that. Like 2-3 times a week. I gotta tell you, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It's like a goddamn drug dealer. Like, I don't want to try your product. I'm good.
Erica's like, they're recruiters. That's their job.
No, my company recruits. I've recruited before. You say, hey, this is our company. This is what we do. Are you interested? No? You have a good day. Yeah. We don't go follow them around the goddamn gymnasium trying to recruit the same person.
It's like sales. It's more like they're in sales.
A very pushy salesman. That's how they were. Only thing they were missing was a gold chain or something.
You are so silly.
Now, I think back now, I'm like, I hope they better not approach my kids with nothing like that. This is pushy.
Yeah, I do.
Do you know what you want to do when you grow up? You know what you want to be? You know where you can find out? You can find out here. I won't find out what I want to do. I wouldn't have been doing this if I actually, I did know what I wanted to do, but
this is what I wish this is how I wish it was. This is how I wish they would do with the military. If there was one really, like, you know how there's an orientation at the beginning, like when you start college, there's like an orientation. I wish at some point in time in your senior year, there was a big orientation that everybody is required to come to and with their parents, where they could do a whole overview of what it means to serve in the military and the options that you have. And then from there, whoever wants more information can have it. Yeah. That way there's a...
Or even twice throughout the school. Like once you go your sophomore and your senior or whatever. Like, hey, maybe you want to revisit this. Present it to everybody. Don't be following me in the goddamn parking lot.
That way, because I don't like the thought of someone being tricked into that type of commitment, because we all know being a part of the military, that's something that is supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah,
that is putting your life
honorable. You're putting your life on the line for your country.
So it shouldn't be something that should be made on a whim. Not to say that everybody who signs up for the military doesn't win, but I think there's a lot of people who that happens to them because they have been fed something at the right time by the right person without being able to take wisdom from their parents, and they might have a parent that's like,
right.
this is perfect for
with
you.
all that said, I don't know anybody that went to the military that regrets it. Mm-hmm. Like, I've never heard about, like, oh man, I wish I never did that. I have heard some stories of people going into action and wishing they didn't experience what they experienced.
Yeah.
But as far as the military in general, they was like, no, I would recommend this to anybody. I get it. That's a great opportunity if that's what you want to do. But don't be trying to hustle these kids into doing it.
Yeah, I could definitely see the benefits of being. I have a lot of friends, a lot of female friends actually, that were in the military.
Yeah, and I don't know anybody that regrets it. Like,
yeah, no, I've never heard somebody being like, I was like, get me up out of here as soon as. I know so many people that re-enlist, like that, like they do their time.
Their mandatory. What is it, 4 years? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And then they re-up and they make a career out of it, which is great.
But yeah, I would definitely be hot if my child was signed up for the military prior to us sitting down, talking about it, and weighing all his options. Just because it's one of those things that it's different than choosing a college. You can quit college.
You can quit college real quick. And ain't nobody. There's another college you can go to.
Right. But if you sign up for that military, you can't just quit. No. Now you're gonna get yourself in trouble. It's I don't know what made me just go onto that tangent. Oh, you brought it up. Drinking.
Drinking. Yeah.
Yes. So no, I get it, and this is not to like be out here bashing the recruiters, but they really should come up with a better policy.
I know the recruiters that was out of school were pushy. Like they were.
I still remember them. Like
were they pushy at your school? Like
yeah, they would. Like you could tell who they were gunning for, and every day at lunch because they'd be set up at lunch. Let me talk to you. Come on. Let me talk to you. They didn't really. They weren't hitting up the girls, but they were on them black boys like crazy.
Yeah, no,
they were on the black boys, honey, and we were not a predominantly black school. We were not, but they were like, you probably ain't got no future going for you.
You ain't doing nothing with yourself. Come here.
Come here. You ain't doing nothing with your life.
I'm like, you ain't approached Fletcher.
Right. No, definitely not. Definitely
Mitchell
not.
over there.
So what
Brandon shenanigans, he
so stupid.
You over here on me, Tyrone, and Jason.
Right. So let us know in the comments of wherever you're watching what you feel like is illegal and should be legal, or the reverse. It doesn't have to be
what do you feel like around.
Right. So what do you feel like? Nah, player, you're doing us wrong for that. You're doing us wrong. And let us know in the comments of wherever you're watching. Also, you guys, we want to give you all the comment of the day right now because we love your comments. We read all your comments, and we just like to be able to interact with y'all. So we appreciate when you all interact with us. We really do. So Marcus is going to pull it up, and we're going to get to it.
Oh, this is from Ashley. How you say it?
Ashley Saramana.
Ashley. She said, "I will hold the grudge, or cut ties and keep it pushing. I'm not yet fully evolved in that place of grace just yet. Excuse me."
So that was based off of our podcast last week.
Forgive and forget.
If that's something that you're able to do. So she's like, nah.
Yeah, which I think
cut them down.
Yeah, I think it's important to know where your grace lies and where it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I know people that don't understand that they have no sympathy or empathy or anything like that. Mm-hmm. They're just completely oblivious to the fact that they lack that.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, can be a bad place to be because you're doing things to people around you that you don't realize, or possibly to yourself.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
So it's good that you know that, Ashley. Because I know exactly the things that God needs to work on me. Work out on me.
He's like, I know exactly, God. It still ain't fixed yet. It still ain't fixed. You guys, we are at the end of the episode, but I have so many fun announcements that I'm going to make, and then we'll close it out. 1, we have been booking guests for the month of June, and we are so excited. We've been booking couples mainly. If you all have any suggestions of folk that you all want us to try to shoot our shot at, let us know. But I think we're booked for the month of June, so I'm not sure if we'll see how it goes in June to see if in July we want to have more guests on. But we're super excited because you all know, Is This Going to Cause an Argument has typically just been a podcast with the conversation with me and Marcus.
Right.
We've had some people like off to the side that have said a couple of things, but this time we are bringing them on fully to be a part of the conversation fully. So we're super excited. We've got some fun people that we think you all will really enjoy. So be on the lookout for that. Also in June, we'll be starting with our ads. So as I told y'all before, we signed with a really great podcast company. We're super excited. It's allowing us to be able to continue to do this free content, but also get paid for it, which I am so excited.
Y'all see, we need to buy mics and all kinds of other stuff.
We need to buy a COVID-free babysitter.
Yeah, we've been pouring all our money into this.
So we ask that when we do the ads, that if it sounds like anything you might be interested in, to please check out the product. And if you decide to purchase the product, we ask that you use our code and use our link to just show the advertisers that, they didn't make a mistake by betting on us. And trust and believe, anything that we decide to advertise during this podcast, it will be something that we have tried. So our words will be from our authentic experience. We'll be hitting some talking notes that the company asked for us to make sure we hit. Right. But you will also be...
You ain't gonna hear no lies out of my mouth.
Yes, you're gonna be getting a personal experience. There was actually one product, I don't know if we're gonna be doing it or not. I'm not gonna mention what it was, but it was something that related more to Marcus than me. And Marcus had to take his time to do his research to even see if he wanted to go down the road of us potentially advertising for this company. So just know, when we start doing it, we would appreciate your support by, if it's something that you're interested in and you were thinking about purchasing anyways, that you use our link and you use our code. And we greatly appreciate it. So those are the two announcements for Is This Going to Cause an Argument? New guest and ads. And don't worry, we're going to make the ads fun. Okay?
Oh, yeah, it ain't going to be no boring.
We're not going to and when you try this lotion, the ashiness will disappear. We're going to give you Marcus and
then
Angel.
Get the cancer, the death. Contact your doctor. You ain't get that.
No, I think me and Marcus might make it a competition of who can give the best advertising, because we will hopefully have multiple in an episode. So we're going to give you pizzazz.
And we're going to make it quick and get back to it.
All right, guys.
When is Kobe coming back?
This week, people.
Kobe be back this week. It might have to be Friday or Saturday.
I
feel like I need to drop the. I need to drop the original Kobe again for people that don't know about it.
Oh, well, you can always do it in the same day. It's happening this week. Just know it. Y'all gonna get it here soon, very soon. Okay, you guys have a blessed day.
Y'all have a good one.
And we'll talk to you later. All right, guys. Bye.
That chick angel. That chick angel. Angel. That chick angel. Angel. A boss of white.